So, your loved one needs some help or has fallen ill, and you need someone to look after them, but you have no idea where to begin to find the right care. Let's Talk Home Care with Aisling is here to help. Join us weekly on our journey to educate families on home care for their loved ones. Now, here's your host, Aisling.
Well, hello and welcome to another version of Let's Talk Home Care with Aisling. The purpose of this podcast is purely for educational purposes and to help you, the consumer, understand what exactly is home care, all the entities and businesses and continuum of care that touch home care, and any resources that we can give you to help you understand that the future of home care is massive. Many more people want to remain in their home and to age in place. And we are seeing lots of different changes happen all around the country for our caregivers and for our clients in relation to home care. Quite recently, I talked about the fact that some states around the country have absolutely no regulations to follow. And then we talked about here in Illinois how we have regulations that we have to follow, both for licensure and compliancy and training. So I thought today, for the purpose of the listener who kind of understands a little bit about home care, how I can break it down so that you understand what we are actually allowed to do per our licensure and per the regulation in your home. So let's dial it back a little bit first and help you understand that whether you are a privately owned agency, such as myself, Aisling Home Care, or if you happen to be a franchise, you still have to follow the same regulations no matter what state that you are in. So here in Illinois, our caregivers have what we call a scope of practice. And that scope of practice means that we have to stay within that scope. So I'm going to read to you, because I don't know them all off the top of my head, but I'm going to read to you basically what a non-medical home care agency is allowed to do. Again, whether you are a franchise or whether you are privately owned. So when we send our field staff, which are sometimes called HHAs, home health aides, they're also sometimes called home aides, they're called caregivers, they're called professional caregivers, sometimes they're called care pros. There's lots of different titles that our caregivers have, both male and female, that do this work in the home. So we are non-medical. You're probably looking at me saying you're non-medical. What exactly does that mean? Well, I'm going to explain it to you. And so many clients over the years have said to me, well, if you're not allowed to do this and you're not allowed to do that, then what are you allowed to do? Well, that's a very valid point, but there's also very clear lines that have to be drawn so that we're not doing things that we shouldn't be doing, that you think we're medical people and we're not. So let me say that again. Home services agencies are not medical. We may have a retired nurse who's working as a caregiver, but under the home services licensure scope of practice, that retired nurse, even though she may have the skill set up here and the knowledge, she is only allowed to do the following. And I'm going to read this list out to you. So let's talk about skilled nursing services. That is not in the scope of a home service agency. Why? Because the hint is in the title. It's skilled nursing. So therefore, that cannot be done in the home. Therapy services. We are not physical therapists. Now, let me define this because it's a little gray. Our caregivers can most definitely encourage and oversee that your loved one is doing their exercises. However, we cannot write that prescription up, so to speak, or dictate what exercises have to be done for specific injuries in the body. We can encourage you, of course, to do it. We can sit with you and do it. We can make it fun. We can put on music. We can even do the same exercises with you. But we cannot dictate those exercises, and we certainly can't write those up for you to do. All right. We, as home services agencies, primarily provide companionship, assistance with shopping. We can oversee medications, and we most definitely can do errands and laundry, provided that they are in the scope of practice. Skincare. We are not permitted to change bandages, treat bed sores or wounds. That is beyond our scope of practice. Ambulation. Yes, we are allowed to assist you throughout the house with your walking. We are allowed to transfer you from your bed to a wheelchair to a toilet. We are able to assist you in dressing for sure. We absolutely can make sure that you do your exercises on a daily basis. Feeding, we absolutely can assist you and feed you. We can take care of your hair, like shampooing and washing your hair. We are absolutely allowed to help you with your oral care, washing your teeth, brushing your teeth, making sure that everything in your mouth is nice and clean. We can absolutely take care of your nails. However, we can't cut them at the moment. We're not allowed to do that, but we can soak them and we can clean them. And we can certainly bring you to a beauty salon to have them done. Positioning. We may position you in alignment in the bed, in the wheelchair, or on the couch. Absolutely. Shaving, we can certainly assist you with shaving, but only with an electric or a safety razor. We can assist with toileting. We can assist, as I said earlier, with transfers. The medication reminders is a huge thing that a lot of these non-medical home care agencies do. And that means that we can certainly oversee and remind that you take your medications, but we are not permitted to set up your medications. We may temporarily, as of right now, remove and replace oxygen cannulas to wash your face or give you a shave or do your teeth and things of that nature. So basically what I have told you are and is our scope of practice for non-medical home care agencies here in Illinois. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We're happy to provide any sort of clarification or miscommunications or anything that you're not sure if your caregiver should or shouldn't be doing. We're happy to do that. Remember, if you go to the IDPH website, you can also find all of those regulations there as well that you as a consumer can look up so you know exactly what your caregiver can and can't do. But just remember that when you're working with a private duty home care agency or a franchise, the key is communication and asking every question upfront so that the agency can clearly define and describe to you what they can and can't do. Hope that helps everybody. And as we say in Ireland, Fáilte, or not Fáilte, Slán. Thanks for listening. Hope that we see you on the next podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.